Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning and welcome. It's Nurse Richard the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. Now this quite interesting case, this one, as they all are, but that's just my opinion. This was a young lady. She was, I think, 12 years old, and this literally changed her life, this treatment. Now, the poor girl, she was a big fan of swimming, and she loved to go swimming on a weekly basis. But for a long time, every time she went, she got an incredible pain in both ears. I think we can probably see why now. You see what's in them. And it's not that they didn't seek help for it. Her parents took her to a GP, to a doctor. And unfortunately, as with most doctors, what they tend to do these days is say, just put some drops in, it'll soon sort itself out. In cases like this, that certainly wouldn't be the case. It is rare that drops alone will help, to be honest with you. It needs removing. I think also been treated, there is an overuse of antibiotics as well, to be honest. Because if anyone goes to the doctor here and they're complaining of pain in the ear, sometimes they'll have a quick look in, sometimes they don't. They just prescribe antibiotics or an antibiotic spray. But that's rarely the problem. As it was in this case, a simple look inside the ear would have said, well, that needs to come out. So eventually one doctor did see her and said, well, yeah, it needs to come out, this. But unfortunately, the way public health works at the moment, the waiting list for adults is quite long. Anywhere between 12 weeks, 6 months, I'm hearing recently around here. But for children, anybody under 18, it's even longer, in some cases up to a year or 18 months, unfortunately, because they can't be seen they have to be seen by a specialist at ENT, children. You'll just see at the bottom here, there's a little flake of what I think is just a little bit of dry skin on there. I'm not going to entertain going down there for that, because her hearing was resolved instantly. But because she did say she'd having a lot of pain, I did wonder whether there might have been a tiny perforation there. And that was just covering it over, or it was something that's leaked through the middle ear and then dried on top of it. We did the Valsalva manoeuvre, which is where you pinch your nose and you blow, and then the eardrum, I didn't film that, where the eardrum should just flex outwards, and if there is a perforation, it usually makes that a bit more visible, but I couldn't see anything when we did it. And whenever she'd put drops in, she didn't get any pain or discomfort or an unusual taste, which can happen when you've got perforation. The second one, now she didn't think this ear was quite as bad, so they hadn't been putting many drops in it. You can see the difference. It's quite dry and it's quite solid, this one. Very large pieces as well. I'm not surprised she was having trouble. Now we fitted her in last minute because she was going on holiday. And I think if we hadn't have done this, she wasn't going to go in the swimming pool at all on holiday. And trying to tell a 12-year-old or any kid that they can't go in the pool on holiday, and obviously they'd be devastated. It would completely spoil the holiday. I usually cut out these bits where I'm going in and you're getting the old dream sequence, the oil going blah, 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 all over the place. But I left it in on this one just to show you sometimes why it's really difficult. I'm trying to fix one problem, i.e. the surface of the wax is very dry, hard to get hold of. But by putting the oil in, I've gone and caused myself another problem, which means it's really difficult to see. And certainly when the visual image kind of waves about and wobbles, you don't really know where you are. It's hard, so you have to approach obviously very, very slowly and carefully. Eventually it does settle. Most of the oil flies up the tube when you're entering it, and you've got to keep coming out and wiping the lens of the camera. Now you can see this, can't you? It's like a shell. It's really adhered to the bottom of the ear canal, but it's starting to move now. But it's got wedged, and you'll see why it's got wedged when this thing comes out, because it was huge. It was a big one. So yeah, and the difference it made to her, like I alluded to before, it was remarkable. It was night and day. She went from hearing pretty much nothing at all to hearing everything, and the look on her face was priceless. And she she was like, so can I go swimming again now? And I can go swimming on my holiday. I said, yeah, be absolutely fine to go swimming on a holiday. I did advise that they take some ear spray just to protect the ear as well, because it will be a bit more vulnerable, because all that skin in the ear, it wouldn't have seen the light of day for who knows how long. So it would have been more vulnerable to infection. But she said, well, and it won't hurt, I won't get any pain. I said, no, you shouldn't get any pain at all now. The reason she was having pain is every time she got water in, obviously it got trapped around and behind this and made it swell up, made it bigger. Have a look at the size of that.
Look at that.
It was an absolute poppy dazzler. This ear drum, pretty clear. Look at that. Very, very, very happy young lady indeed. And as I asked her, I said, you're not too old for stickers, are you? She said, nope, not too old for stickers. So she left with 2 stickers, one for each ear. And there these plugs are, like I said, big dark things, been in there for a number of years. But I hope you enjoyed that, found it interesting. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.